Good morning, student. I am Vishal Vaidya. I welcome you all to the online course of Organic Farming and Vermiculture Technology. Today's era is an era of pollution. Number of the effects came on the human body as well as in the environment. Now we are suffering from different pollution problem. Air pollution, water pollution, soil pollution, enormous problems created due to the pollution. Now the patients of the pollution increase day by day. So even if we are living in the world of COVID, now the human health, the human immunity is a best support for anti-COVID movement. That's why today I am going to talk you some things about you, the organic farming and vermiculture technology. Because regarding the agriculture production, so the issues of the origins last few decades, looking at the adverse effect of the conventional farming. The conventional farming has posed a serious threat on the food quality, environments, water and quality too. In this view, the organic farming is gaining momentum throughout the world to provide a better environments, better food quality to the consumers. 10,000 years ago, the agriculture started. Now I am going to discuss with you the history. Crop cultivation started with wheat, then barley, followed by some of the pulses. Farming system existed along with the crop and animal component. Cultivation was absolutely organic and sustenance type. Thereafter, due to the population growth, it shifted to the intensive type, maximum of the output. It means the intensive type. Environmental and health issues again shifting to the organic agriculture. Now, in front of you, I am showing you the slide that first of all, we are doing organic farming, then in between due to the intensive use, excessive use of the pesticide, we are coming towards the inorganic, and now due to the health problem, we are going towards the organic farming. So, in this figure, see the history of organic farming as the agriculture has started 10,000 years ago, where the crop cultivation started with the arable crops like the wheat, barley, followed by some pulses, rice crops also. During that period, there are no chemical fertilizers initial stage, only farming system that existed along with the crop and animal husbandry. So this was an integrated concept where the crop was grown through organic use of the cow dung. Slowly, the cultivation was only of the organic, and that was a sustenance farming, but with the increasing population growth, if there is a rapid demand of the increasing food production, so that it is encouraged the use of high yielding varieties of the hybrid cultivates for increasing production to meet the growing demand of the population. So they exploit the yield potential from the high yielding cultivators, and there was no need for the use of the chemical fertilizers. So after organic, so we converted to inorganic to meet the demand of the growing population with the increasing food and production. So the time reached when the production became plateau with the use of the inorganic fertilizers. At the same time, it created many adverse effects like the deterioration of soil quality and the environmental quality, ultimately the food quality. In 19, there was a need of good air for the breathing, good quality of water to drink. So on early in 2000, so there was a need of good quality food for better human health, hence to have a better environment, better food quality, better drinking water quality, we are now again converting to organic farming. So that happened during the last 60s. Then the question is arise, what is organic farming and how it installed? So our forefathers, they are actually very brilliant and they make that system truly. Organic farming is an ecological production management system that promotes enhanced biodiversity, biological cycles, and soil biological activity. Look at what is the organic farming? The organic farming is an ecological production management system that promotes and enhances the biodiversity, biological cycle, and soil biological activity. It is based on minimal use of farm inputs and on management practices that restore, maintain, and enhance ecological harmony. Or organic farming is a system which avoids or largely excludes the use of synthetic input such as fertilizers, pesticides, hormones, feed additives, etc. And to maximum extent feasible really upon the crop rotation, crop residues, animal manures, off-farm organic waste, mineral grade rock activities, additives, and biological system of nutrient mobilization and plant production. This is what about the organic farming. And so, if you come to organic farming, what is organic farming? See, the organic farming, this is an ecological production management system which I already discussed with you. It promotes and enhances the biodiversity, biological cycle, and biological activity. So, biological cycle means you have to grow different crop in a rotation. And so by doing so, this can enhance your soil fertility. At the same time, it can reduce the pressure of the insect pest and disease and the soil biological activity. Soil biological activity, we mean to say the soil is a living body that has a many microbial populations. So the microbial population, they do help in nutrient release pattern in the soil and nutrient availability for the crop plants. So by doing organic farming, we maintain the microbial populations, make the soil such a living body as active with or without the management practices like your crop rotation and crop diversification, and it is based on a minimal use of the farm inputs and on management practices that restore, maintain, and enhance the ecological harmony. So, as you say in organic farming, so we try to minimize use of farm inputs, try to use the own farm input the maximum extent. Organic farming is other way, say, is a system which avoids or largely excludes the use of synthetic input such as the fertilizers, pesticides, growth hormones, and the feed additives, and the maximum extent feasible rely on a crop rotation as you are discussing a crop residue, incorporations, animal manure, off-farm organic waste, mineral rock phosphates, rock minerals, and biological system of a nutrient mobilization and plant productions. So, through a biological nutrient fixation or green manuring so that can help in organic farming. Now, the next thing of our discussion is the comparison of pesticide used in India and worldwide. In front of you, that slide is here. It's showing some graphs where the comparison is in India as well as worldwide of the pesticide use. I want to show some lights on the pesticide use in India and world. So the quality of the food deterioration is due to indiscriminate and incentive use of the insecticides, herbicides, and fungicide in a crop production. If you see, compare the insecticide, the pesticide use in India and worldwide, see, the India uses maximum proportions of the insecticide. It is more than 60%, followed by fungicide and herbicide. Where if you see the world level as a maximum use of herbicide followed by insecticide and the fungicides. As India is a tropical and subtropical continent and that weather condition is highly favorable for the growth and multiplication of the insect. Probably this is the reason why use more of the insecticide, and if see the effect of the insecticide or pesticide on the human health. Now we will discuss that what type of effect or what type of the alterations will happen due to the pesticide. Now in the next discussion of us is the effect of pesticide on the human health. Now this slide is showing you the viscous cycle of the pesticide, where they pose endocrine disruptors. The respiratory tract irritation will be formed, and even the Parkinson diseases will be formed or will be occur in the human: asthma, depression, anxiety, cancer, including the leukemia and non-Hodgkin lymphoma, and even attention defects and hyperactivity disorders will be happen due to the effect of pesticides. How the pesticide came? If the production is formed from the factories, from the industries, that during that time the industrial pollution will be came towards the air, the water, as well as towards the soil. And during that time it accumulate in the soil biota, water biota, as well as in the fish, as well as even in the humans, and they make the changes, they make the disruption in our body, and due to that these disorders will be formed. So this will very dangerous and serious effect, because pesticides never degrade they bioaccumulate in a soil. This pesticide that has effect on the air that we breathe, so that also that contaminate the air quality, the soil, and the soil gets contaminated to the pesticides. The water, so that influence the aquatic bodies and ultimately the human health, as through your consumption of the food or breathing airs are getting exposed to the spray of the insecticide or the pesticides. These pesticides that pose a serious threat in human health, and see that pose endocrine disruptor, that means there is a hormonal imbalance takes place in a human body. Especially the research report were found that DDT is a chlorinated hydrocarbon pesticide, and this is found in many of women and the lactating women. It's a very dangerous and very serious issue of DDT. So that goes the babies through a milk to the DDT that also enter the infants, and this is a endocrine disruptors that say hormonal imbalance, and that cause many diseases including cancer and the neuro disorders. The respiratory tract irritations, Parkinson diseases, that is also because of the nervous system disorders due to the insecticide or the pesticides, asthma, then the depression and anxiety, cancer, that is say including the leukemia or lymphoma, that is say a blood cancer. The attention deficiency and the hyperactivity disorder, those have the diseases that happen due to the exposure to the insecticide or the pesticides. Now I will going to discuss with you a different thing about the organic farming, that how much of the world sharing the organic farming, or how much of the world is accepting the organic farming. Now this chart is showing you the global share of organic farming. If you see the global share of the organic farming, the Oceania it share 45%, Europe it's sharing 25%, South America sharing 13%, Asia it shares the 8%, North America 6%, and Africa only a 3% organic farming is, the land is only organic farming, only 3% of land. So if you bring the Indian scenario, so we are making a progress in the organic farming, and this is very positive. Right now our budget explains itself that we are moving towards the organic farming. Now, as you say, the world scenario and the number of organic farmer in India say growing the market of organic food market also has growing over the last few years. So, if you see the history and distribution of the organic agriculture, it appears that because of the demand is there to have a better food, better air and the good quality of water to drink. So, there is a need to bring more and more area under the organic farming. This is a very needful. Now in our India, the seven sister states, it means the Sikkim, Manipur, all those are these seven sisters, they are making their land for the organic farming. And now our government given a budget in a Sansad for the organic farming. So this is a very good sign right now if the farmers they catch that. So in this aspect, you see, we discussed that issue is how to maintain the productions. So that is more important because we do not want to sacrifice the production level in view of a better quality, the view of the better quality. We want a good production at the same time the better quality because this, if you go to especially Indian farming scenario, now the farmer are used huge amount of insecticide, pesticide in fruits and vegetables, and there is no regulation on the dose and the frequency of the application of the pesticide, and also those the material they are plucked on the early morning or the previous the evening and the sent to the market for the human consumption. Right now, dear students, this is a very serious issue. Those insecticides and pesticides, they never clean by the water and never clean by the hands, and they accumulate in a food and in vegetables, and that's why if we consume that during that time, they enter in our body and may be possible the whole human system will suffer from the cancer or cancerogenetic things. That's why the regulations are very important. So, this regulation, we need the Indian market, we need the regulates in the farmer sides because you have interaction with the farmer, right? This is that the crop they are growing for their own production is, you can say, close to organics. We may not be fully organic, but they are not to apply any insecticide or pesticide for the crops which crops they will be consuming. Now, but the vegetables or the fruits they are sending to the market in for those they are apply huge amount of insecticide and the pesticide. But now to stop this, there is a need is increasing awareness among the farming community, among the consumers too, and the initiatives from the government also requires how to minimize the use of insecticide and pesticide in the farmland. So, as you see, the status, the organic farming is growing. This is a positive direction because we are go for the organics. But you can see many of our health issues that come from the food. If a better quality of food, you can really maintain your health, or you may be healthy. So, to have a better food, we need have a healthy production system, a green production system, organic production system, where we can maintain our ecosystem. If you have a good organic system, we have a better quality of water to drink because you see the underground is getting polluted due to the intensive use of the chemical fertilizers and pesticides. They do list in the contaminate the underground water which we are using for the drinking purpose too. Whenever we are applying the pellets of the pesticide, they due to the attraction of the earth, they will go towards the baseline of the water and they will contaminate it. So what? It is very necessary. Now, so marking or the making agriculture as a holistic organic system, we can have a good productions and we can have a better quality of the food, or you can happen say a good quality of water drink and good quality of air to the breathe. Look at that. Good quality of water for the drinking purpose and good quality of air for the breathing purpose. Those are more important nowadays for us. So we are progressing in a positive direction, but we need to progress further increasing rate so that we can maintain the production with a better quality of the food. With this, I conclude the first lecture. Then we will move towards the second lecture, looking at the status of organic foods in the India and the world. Thank you very much.